Out of Atlantic Canada this morning, the news for people who were hoping to travel the region freely again. They're going to have to wait for at least another 2 weeks. The reopening of the Atlantic bubble has been put on hold until at least early May because of an increase in case numbers and in the variants. Let us go to Brett Ruskin, who has the latest on the story for us. Good morning, Brett.
Good morning, Heather. Brett has bad news about the bubble. So this all started yesterday when we started getting kind of hints, kind of inklings and various statements from Atlantic premiers talking about how they were leaning towards, that was the statement made by Nova Scotia Premier Ian Rankin, leaning towards delaying the bubble. We heard from Dennis King, Premier for Prince Edward Island, saying that it was a precarious time to open the Atlantic bubble. And then last night they all got on the phone basically 7:30 and said, "Are we doing this thing?" And they said, "No, there's too many cases, there's too much COVID in our region. We are not opening the bubble at or on April 19th, which would be next Monday." And again, the bubble basically means that you can have free travel between the Atlantic provinces without needing to self-isolate for 14 days. That was what had been established for about 5 months or so last summer. And so there was lots of tourism, lots of families visiting one another from across the Maritimes, across Atlantic Canada, and it was great while it lasted. And so people were hopeful that it would reopen April 19th, but that won't be the case. It'll be at least May 3rd or perhaps later in May that we could see the bubble. Heather.
May 3rd at the earliest. So that's for all of the provinces within the Atlantic bubble. If we just focus at Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, there are some concerns about travel back and forth across that border specifically too, I understand, Brett.
Yeah, well, that was the other announcement that we heard yesterday. As of right now, as we speak, you can still come from New Brunswick to Nova Scotia without requiring to self-isolate. However, that's going to change tomorrow at 8 a.m. That border is going to be reestablished once again, requiring that 14-day self-isolation period for all New Brunswickers, anyone coming from New Brunswick, to self-isolate for 14 days to try to prevent the spread of COVID-19. That's due to cases, that's due to variant cases that were discovered, that were uncovered and announced yesterday in a couple of different parts of New Brunswick. And so Nova Scotia Premier Ian Rankin saying, you know what, things are looking a little bit riskier at the border than they had just even a week ago. So we are shutting things down once again at that land crossing, at that land border. And so people will have to self-isolate once again for 2 weeks if they come from New Brunswick to Nova Scotia. That takes effect tomorrow at 8 a.m. Heather.
Okay, Brett, thank you very much. The latest out of the Atlantic region.